Hula is widely recognized as an art form and universal language expressing goodwill and Hawaiian cultural values. This unique dance is Hawaii's distinctive connection with and contribution to people around the world. Our kumu hula, through their daily living and sharing of their hula culture, act as international ambassadors, globally imparting the deeper meaning and significance of aloha and ohana. Through this program, Voices of Our Kupuna, Hawaii's treasured elder kumu hula share stories of their lives and wisdom they've gained as lifelong master practitioners of hula. Auntie Nona Kapua Elohia Deshe Beamer was born in 1923, the eldest child of Pono and Louise Beamer. She was raised surrounded by Hawaiian music and hula, specifically hula in the distinctive Beamer style. She credits her grandmother, renowned composer and kumu hula Helen Deshe Beamer, as the primary cultural influence in her life. Auntie Nona was a lifelong teacher and the inspiration behind the establishment in 2000 of Hula Preservation Society, a nonprofit organization based on her personal mandate to never stop learning and sharing. Born in 1918 in Kahului on the island of Maui, Auntie Kahili Long Cummings was the sixth child in a large, loving family of 15 children. Her mother, Ida Pakulani Kaianui Ka'aihui, was trained as a kumu hula. She and her husband, Henry Long, nurtured in their ohana a love for and appreciation of all things Hawaiian, including music and hula. Auntie Kahili benefited from the hula instruction she received from both her older sister May Lobenstein and Alice Mahi Keavikani during Kumu Keavikani's years on Maui. Hula Preservation Society has worked with Auntie Kahili since January of 2005. This panel discussion marked Auntie's first time participating in such an event. Uncle George Lanakila Keiki Ahi Ali'i Naope, born in 1928, is the baby of the group. From a very young age, he was exposed to Hawaiian music and hula. His famous grandfather, Harry Naope, had a great influence on him. It was his grandfather's mother, Mary Malia Puka Okalani Naope, that at age 3 sent him to her dear friend and neighbor in Keaukaha, Mary Ahiena Kekueva. Known as Mama Fuji, she was his first formal hula teacher. He went on to have many hula and musical mentors throughout his life, including Joseph Ilala Ole, Tom Hiona, Ray Kinney, Jenny Wilson, and Lokalia Montgomery. Uncle George has been a mentor to Hula Preservation Society and the anchor for all of HPS panel discussions between 2001 and 2008. And now, Hula Preservation Society presents Voices of Our Kupuna.
Can we say a little pule before we start?
Of course, of course.
Don't need to stand. Our Heavenly Father, as we've gathered here this evening, we are so grateful and thankful unto Thee for this opportunity we have of sharing our knowledge about hula. Thou hast given us this land to take care. Through the hula, we perpetuate all of these things. And we pray that Thou Spirit be with us here this night, that all what we do and say will be pono. We pray and thank Thee for those people who have gathered and formed this wonderful conference here to let everybody know how wonderful we think Hawaii is and for our lives here. This is our prayer. We pray that thy spirit be with us. And this is our prayer in the name of Ko Keiki Hiva Hiva, O Yesu Cristo. Amen.
Very sweet.
My name is Kahili. Well, the holy name is Thelma, but that's okay. Thelma Kahili Long, that's my maiden name. My mom was Ida and my dad was Henry Long. And I was married to a Tom Cummings. I was born and raised here, born in Kahului, right in the front of the fairgrounds, which was called Store Camp because my dad was a clerk at the Punani store. So we got to live there. Later on, we moved in the back of the fairgrounds. He got a job as a prison warden, who made it possible from Prince Kuhio Kalania Naole. He had come to Maui to the fair, and before the gates opened, everybody was mingling around the gate. So my dad looked over and somebody said, "Hey, the prince is here." So sent somebody over to bring the prince to our home. So he came there, and everybody gathered around and had the music. So in interviewing my dad about, what he was doing, my dad told him how much money he was getting, and we had a big family. There's 15 children in our family. And so he said, "I'll get you a better job, Henry." So it didn't take long. He got him a job putting in the Kahakalu Road. After that, he was a prison warden for the state and for the Kamaui County. But because there were so many of us, we were all involved in hula. My mom was a kumu hula, and there were 7 of us sisters, and we all danced. And in the modern days now, everybody have what they call fundraisers. But we didn't have fundraisers then. We had concerts. And so when we had concerts, we entertained at the concerts and gathered from other people who came, and they taught us also how to dance. We shared. I cannot say that, of course, Mom was my first kumu hula. And she was the only one I could say that I took hula from. But there were other people that touched my life as I grew up, like Alice Mahi and George Naope.
I'm not that old.
And so there were all these other people that kind of we shared, like when we went to school and we had programs, we shared that too. And then I started my own halau. I lived at Paukukalu Hawaiian homes, teaching little children. No pay, all free, you can come. And we won one competition that was down at the Maui Mall. We came in first, and the name of my halau was Kalei Ohi'iaka. And but since then I haven't really taught hula anymore. But I'm still involved. When my sisters come up and we get together at family reunions, we all dance. Everybody do the dance. We have one or two of the sisters who were kumuhulas too, May Lowenstein and Leanne Woodside. They all got together and we learned from them different numbers. And then we have a whole Ike night when we all stand up and we dance. So that was my my life with hula. Then I also taught at Aluliki and other places. At school, I was a kupuna at Waihe'i school. So I did that there too. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Age before beauty, you.
You're so so sweet, George. You're so sweet. The last time he was sitting in the middle and he said, "Oh, I'm sitting between two thorns." And Queenie was on one side, I was on the other. I said, "You have your nerve calling us thorns." Sassy brat.
They don't like the truth. Hurry up.
Thank you, dear. Well, we spent our early life in Naope. My mother was a school teacher. My father was a fisherman. We lived in my great-granduncle's home, Stephen Deshay, right on the point there at Naope. And when we were old enough to go to school, my parents uprooted us from Naope and took us to Honolulu to attend English Standard School. 50 years later, I'm retiring and moving back to Big Island. Not to Naope, but pretty close, pretty close. So it's been a lovely transition from the country to the city and longing to go back to the country. But I've wondered over the years what would have happened if we hadn't been uprooted from Naope. But my mother's roots were there. She was born in Ho'okena, and her mother was a kahuna la'au lapa'au. So we had a lot of country connections. And in my heart of hearts, I've always been a country girl, not the fancy city kind, always country girl. Okay, babe.
Okay, what the hell's my name? Oh, my name is George Lanakila Kiki Ahi Ali Naope. My family is a musical family, very famous musical family, and my grandmother, my great-grandmother was lady in waiting to Queen Kapiolani and Queen Lili Okalani. And next door, we lived next door to one of these famous master Hulas. Her name was Mama Fuji, Japanese, but she married Hawaiian, but married Japanese. Her daughter was Auntie Edith Kanaka Ole in the Kanaka family. And I learned from her until I was 10, and then I went to learn from Joseph Ilala Ole. He was a great master of the hula. And then Uncle Tom Hiona, Auntie Lokali Montgomery, Auntie Iolani Luwahine. I hated hula. So I like Sundays, because we went to church on Sunday. You know, Hawaiians know that Sunday. Church on Sunday and go see Gene Autry in the theater. But then, as I got older, I was hired by the Royal Hawaiian Hotel and the old New Malu Hotel Honolulu as a chanter for Reikini's group. And then Auntie Clara came, and Clara Hillhad, and then I watched her dance. I'll copy her without the moo. And did comic hula. That's what I used to do, comic hula. Never danced. Then I taught hula. I've been teaching hula now for 58 years.
Can you tell us about your Hawaiian names?
You know, Hawaiians all name their baby, they touch the stomach and they say, "Oh, this one will be like that." I guess they haven't touched my leg and not my stomach. Not my, yeah. So this is how I was forced to take hula, as I said. It wasn't because I liked it. Because as I got older, I liked it. And happy to have lived in the right time and all of the great masters were alive, you know, and interviewed these two. It makes me feel even better. But my name, by the way, Lanakila Ayali, means the child of the victorious light that will lead the way. How the hell I know I was going to lead the hula, you know? But that's how Hawaiians are. They name you, and you cannot give the name away unless you ask them first. Otherwise, Eva, Wahine Kapu will take over. You know who Wahine Kapu is? Pele. So I'm not superstitious, I just don't take chances. Okay, your chance. Her. That's all.
My turn? Okay.
You know, today is a special day because no. I'm going to let her do all the talking, the tutor kind. Because she's from Maui, and a lot of us don't know enough about Maui. And I think you're here not only to learn the hula, but to learn about the dances that you learn from Maui. And nobody else can be better than her. She's been to, I know in my days I was with her, we had all these holy water festivals. You know, holy water festival, Primo Bia and, right, Auntie? Okay, go talk, Auntie.
My Hawaiian name is Kahili, but I was not named for the flower, or the standard. My dad was born in Kilauea, Kauai, and in a little valley that's called Kahili. And there's a Mount Kahili there, there's a Kahili River. And that's where my dad was raised by his tutu in this Kahili Valley. And I was named for that place.
You know the song Down in the Valley?
Down in the Valley,
course,
sure, I know
of
that
course.
song.
Okay, no.
I was the first grandchild, and my grandmother, Helen Deshay Beamer of Hilo, named me Kapua Ilohia Manono Kalani. And I used Kapua Ilohia because I didn't know I had that end part of the name until my grandma wrote a song for my wedding, and at the end of the song it was Kapua Ilohia Manono Kalani, and I didn't realize that she had given me that ending to my name. But I was honored to have the Manono at the end of my name. One of our ancestors, she and her husband, High Chief Kekuo Kalani, were involved in the last war. The last war fought in Hawaii was 1819 at the death of Kamehameha I. And her husband and the young Kamehameha II were at odds with each other. The young king, under the tutelage of Ka'ahumanu, wanted to abolish the kapu system and, the religion. And Kekuo Kalani did not. And he had a substantial number of Hawaiians that were in accord with him. So the two cousins fought a battle on the lava fields of Kuamo'o in 1819. And Manono wanted to fight at the side of her husband, and he said, no, but I will fix a hali'ipunana, a little bird nest of fern. So he gathered the uluhi fern and fixed this nest for her where she could watch the progress of the battle. And very early, she saw the husband. He was struck by a musket fire, and she saw him fall. And of course, she ran down wailing, "Awe, makikane, awe." And she covered his face with his cape, and she took up his spear into the battle. And she kept chanting, "Ko aloha la'ea, ko aloha la'ea, mālama ko aloha, mālama ko aloha." Keep your love. There will be no obstacle for Hawaii if you keep your love. So I'm pleased to bear the name of Manono.
Auntie Kahili, can you tell us how you first met Uncle George?
In the church in Kihei.
No, Uncle George used to come and entertain at Auntie Becca's Tavern down in Kihei. Yeah. He brought all his hula girls, and he played the music, and he.
And I was innocent until I met her.
And every weekend he would come, and when I came into the tavern, he would give me. He'd say, wonderful things about me. I'm the best dancer, and I'm this and I'm that. But that's not true. But just to get me in the mood,
It was the holy water that I
and then he would ask me to dance, and I would dance. We became good friends, not only during Auntie Becca's time, but later on. Drinking friends, invited him to our house, and he did one class with my sisters and my daughters doing Kalihua Imiliia. Remember? And the next day I took him to church with me, George, and we became friends since then.
So I'm lucky, you know, in these people. But you know, we all came.
He says drinking partners. Now only you left, nobody, no more partner.
I've been only me left, you're still around. You know, we're here to learn about the hula, and this is important, the hula. The hula is Hawaii, the hula is aloha, you know. We are here to share with you what little we know, and hopefully that because we learn a lot from other kumu hulas here. You know, the hula is, as I said, is the ability to create one's most inner feelings and not somebody else's. So when you dance and learn from somebody, oh, the buck are dancing wrong. Yes, they're not dancing wrong. They're doing their interpretation of the word. And one Hawaiian word means many, many things. So like many songs I read, and I saw one kumula, then they halau dancing the song. And after the show, I said, Tita, I can talk to you. She said, yeah, yes, uncle. I said, how come you did the song like that? She said, oh, you know, uncle, I met my husband in the same kind of place that you write about, but no more song about the place. So I took these your words and did the song where I met my husband, and we were in first play, what place in the song, your verse. But that's what hula is all about. You see somebody dancing, they don't dance like you, that doesn't mean they're wrong. So Hawaiians said, you know, old Hawaiians, pa'akava, hanakalima. Don't talk about nobody else. Everybody said, Uncle George, you're so great. I said, I'm not great. Yes, you are. All the books say so. I don't give a damn what the hell you right. I said, every morning when I get up, I go Akaka Falls. That's to the lure, you know? And Akaka. And then I go wash my face. Because the basin I wash it. Then I look in the mirror and go, every day I say this, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the greatest of them all? The bugger never answered yet. and you know, if it did answer me, I wouldn't be here for telling you the story. I would die with a heart attack. But that's what the hula is. Hula is preserving. The hula is our culture, is our history. The melee and the chants. You know, thank God for Kalakaua for bringing back the hula. Because when the missionaries were here, the hula was forbidden to dance because we pray to the gods. You know, all the different gods. I said, what's the difference? I said, I pray to the gods too. What do you mean? I said, they sit at the right hand. So I don't stand in line like you guys. You ask this, who he created, you ask. And they take your message. Next day, you're okay. You gotta wait in line, a long line, you know, everybody likes something, yeah? But that's hula. Hula is love and respect for each other. And especially to all the kumu hulas, who have their own style. That's what the hula, and as I said earlier, the hula is the ability to create one's most inner feelings and not somebody else's. So when you see somebody no talk, shut your face and just look, and even you know enjoy, pretend. But that's how I feel about the hula. Now, this has been in the hula for ages. She's 2 years younger than God.
Yeah, we call him Sassy for a reason. Well, I fell in love with hula because I loved my grandmother. There were 13 kids all together with the cousins and all. And I just loved to be with her. I'd follow her around. And she was always doing hula with my great-grandmother. And I'd carry her ukulele, and then I'd do her ipu for her, and then lots of times when she was doing olapa, she'd want uli uli accompaniment, so I'd do uli uli for her. And then one day I heard he ono, Da, 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 da. I like that rhythm. Oh, and I was bouncing around. So she picks up the ukulele and she's starting to play. Oh no, makialo piko. Oh, I love that rhythm. So she told me that was the first hula that she taught me was kewa kewa. I still do it today. I love that rhythm. That was Bina Mossman's, Bina Mossman's, yeah, yeah.
Because she's so bouncy, you saw. Okay, you bounce now, your turn. Your turns.
My hands.
Yes.
You know, when George used to come and entertain, he used to bring when he brought his girls, whoa, the outfits were so beautiful. I think he designed them too. During that time, Manu O'o was a favorite song. Everybody danced, all the dancers did Manu O'o. And his girls had a black outfit on. And I don't know, something they said. They would zip underneath, the sleeves had zippers. They would unzip there, and the yellow would come out. They would lift the arms up and look like the O'o with the yellow feather underneath the wings. Oh, he was really a jazzy guy.
Jazzy guy. Still is, right, right.
Bow.
No,
Okay.
I could sing. You know, I keep telling my children, I guess all parents are that way, how they like what the children do. Like my mom and my dad would probably go out to a party and then they'll come home. And no matter how late they came home, and we would all be sleeping and they'd come in the room, all right, everybody get up, get up. And we all have to get up, have sleeping, come in the parlor, line up, and then we have to dance for his friends that he had brought home. Of course, sometimes we still have sleeping, and they would just give us the eye, which means smile. And so we, with our nightgown and all, we'd stand up, everybody line up and dance. You know, I know most of you folks are here because you folks want to learn about the hula and how we did it, or what kind of exercise or whatever. I'm quite sure everybody had the lying down on bend your knees and lying back and then coming up. We also had to stand against the wall so that our posture would be good. And we have to bend our knees. You know how important your feet is when you dance, because your feet is the one that carries your body. So your feet has to be, you have to learn how to move your feet, especially when you spin around. The feet has to be light on your feet. There's some people, you know, when they call it kaholo, the kaholo. I didn't know what a kaholo was when I was growing up, because my mother never used to say kaholo. And she used the pu'ili to beat her time. She didn't use the ipu, she used her pu'ilu. And she would kind of chant like, Ite owe no paha owe no paha owe no paha owe. Then that's what we call, you know, dan kaholo. Then ami owe no. And every time she said one word, we would do, that's the word, the oe or the ami. And that's how we would, you know, learn our steps. Then, if we were too much on the right, when we do our kaholo too much on the right, you put two chairs like this, you stand in the middle, and then you do your kaholo, and your hip goes as far as this chair, it comes back as far as this chair. So your hip has the same movement going back and forth. And then when you ami, don't push up too much in the front. Give it in the back. So you ami most of the time. You push in the back, then you come around. And don't push too much in the front. She said, don't look nice when you push up in the front. But do your ami around and make sure it's a complete circle before you reverse. You know, in those days, I remember we can, I mean, all the way down to the floor.
That's right.
And then come up slowly. And that was because we always practiced and we did it all the time. The only time I've seen them do that quite often was when that song Kalua came out. Then everybody was dancing down to the floor. And how beautiful it was. No stopping, just dance gracefully to the floor and then coming up so graceful. I really enjoyed that, even though it was hapahole kind of song, but anyway, it was good to watch. It was easy on the eyes.
Yes, and it was
Yeah,
busy.
I like that.
And also, Auntie, you know, when your feet sore, that means it's right.
Yeah.
And it's not so, it means you're making it wrong. So it hurts first. You know, the hula is today, the hula is universal. Every country you go to, they do the hula. Maybe not the way we do, but as a Hawaiian, I look and say, hey, Maika Imali, I love that because, hey, they do my stuff, you know? And they don't know who the hell I am from Adam and Eve, which is good. But I teach in Germany and in Frankfurt, Heidelberg, Munich, and Berlin. I teach in Switzerland, I teach in London, and teach in Japan for forever, ever. I like Japan. You know why I like Japan? The same size as me. When I go to the store, buy pants, everything fits me, I only cut. Here I go Woolworth, buy the pants or something. I gotta cut this much off the pants. Them don't, even the shoes fit me. And I don't, but the Japanese people are beautiful people, and they learn our culture, and they want to. They're so good. I mean, they listen. You know, I catch the bus or train. Every time I'm watching, I'm on all the Japanese get on the train. All the guys sleeping. I look at people, I don't know where I'm going now. I don't know where I'm going to stop. And I watch see the Japanese obasangs and the on the train. Some of them, they're nuts, you know, but they're practicing the hula. And we are. So now some people tell me, hey, Uncle Joe, how come you go to Japan so often? I go to Japan 6 times a year. And go, oh, I love Japan. Japanese people are nice. So I say, hey, Uncle, they don't bomb Hawaii. I say, hey, the Japanese never bomb Hawaii. They passed Diamond Head, they passed Waikiki, passed Honolulu, passed here. They went bomb Pearl Harbor. And who was over there? No Hawaiian, only Haole. I mean, all the bad Haoles at that time. But you know, we're so lucky. We have all of I go to, but they have so many festivals named after me in San Francisco, Modesto, Salt Lake, Seattle, Portland, you know, and Oxnard, San Diego. I don't know why they named them, but anyway. But they're learning our culture, and this is what we Hawaiians got to learn, because they come in better than us. Especially those of us who were born in Hawaii. Many of us Hawaiians don't even know what is the name of the step. Sometimes, you know, let's, for instance, Steve Kumuhulas told me at the Iolani Festival at the Hilton Hotel in Waikoloa on island of Hawaii. They said, Uncle, can I talk to you? I'm going to ask you one question. I said, ask me. Oh, yes. Oh, no, we've got to go over there. I was sitting down drinking with some Haole friends, you know. And he said, look, it's like, let's talk over here. Then, oh, we'd like to know, how come that Japanese when win all of the first places? I go, very simple. You know, what do you mean simple? The Japanese go home and practice. We take it for granted because we Hawaiians and, you know, we're born and raised here. I know I can do that, but it's not, you don't know until you learn. The hula isn't the easiest thing in the world. And nobody like take me because I bust them, ask them. I bust the ipu heke, ukulele. Now I don't can hit nobody. They have the abuse law, can hit Sona. So now I swear I come in better. I know all the words. But before I used to bust ipu hekes and Austin, you know, the Kumuhulas all say, oh, we make dancers, but no Kumuhula make dancers. Oh, yes, we do. I said, no, you don't. Dancers make Hula. When the dancer is good, the Hula is number one. The dancer is bad, the kumu is rotten. And that's the fact. You go home and think about it. But that's true. They all say they make hula. They don't. We make kumus. When we're good, the kumu is good. When we're bad, the kumu is bad. Please clap for that.
It's hard to top Uncle George. Well, you know, I almost feel apologetic because our school is so narrow. I only know what my grandmother taught me and her mother taught her. My mother married into the family and we were learning in the same class. I turned around and there was my mother in the second row behind me. So I only know one teacher, my grandmother. So I have no comparisons to make, but I think maybe that's a plus factor. Our basic idea is the natural look of the body. So when you look at the body, your legs, your arms, your shoulder, everything looks natural. So you don't have this line and the legs way out here. Your line of leg, shoulders, everything is all aligned. And we always put the fingers forward and put the shoulders back. So from the side, you look that way rather than that way. So those are basic at the very, very beginning for the babies, to stand in a comfortable, natural position. And then the ha'a. And the ha'a is different for everybody. So you find your own ha'a, whichever is comfortable for you. But always with the idea that your back is straight. So Grandma would say, I think that you're sitting in a chair. And then she pulls a chair out from under us. Oh my, and there's the shoulders and the back. And the body is nice and straight. So however you look at that dancer, you know, the posture is good. So I think we have to keep remembering that. Number one idea is the look of the body, nice and comfortable and quiet, the shoulders, the back. And she had us do directionals with the ha'a. Imua, ihope, akau, hema, ilalo, iluna, over and over and over and over. But that's proof of the pudding. When you feel comfortable with your body. And the reason the Beamer style is different is because we use a lever, but we were taught the lift, lift, lift. So that's the difference when you see a Beamer dancer. The difference is in the lift. And then the arms follow the body. So as the hip lifts, the arms lift. The hip lifts, the arms lift. Rather than dancing into the hands, into the hands. So you can spot a Beamer dancer anywhere with that basic idea of the lever. Wherever you move, forward, back, side. And then of course, all the other steps are different too. If your lever is a lift, what's going to happen to your ivalu? What's going to happen to your ami? Everything is different, right? Right. Yeah. And we use 3 counts in our holo and a pause on the 4th count. We don't use the 4th count. Step together, step, hold. Step together, step, hold. It's harder to learn, it's harder to teach, and lots of people don't want to bother with it. But it looks smooth to me. I worry about that 4th count because somebody told us, oh, there's a Maui kick on that 4th count. And we've seen that, 1, 2, 3, kick, 1, 2, 3, kick. That's not very nice. And she said, we don't have a Maui kick.
You kick in the butt.
But that's the basic idea of our style. But you know, my dear friends, we can't say that, like George says, this is right, this is wrong. What you learn in your halau is your tradition, and honor that tradition. But of course, you want to try to make it better. And like George says, when you're better, your kumu is better. Yeah. But it all springs from you, my dear friends. Your kindness, your sweetness, what's in your heart. A bad person doesn't make a good kumu. A bad person doesn't make a good dancer. You have to have the right frame of mind, the right frame of heart. Your face will reflect what you're feeling. So you can't have bad kumu, can't have bad students. You're all wonderful. But we want to be sure that you remember, not all knowledge rests in your halau. There's knowledge in all halaus. I'm glad to see halau sharing a little more. There were a few years, they'd say, no, you can dance it here with us, but you can't dance that out. You don't have my permission to show it to anybody. And I still see a little bit of that today. But for the most part, we're sharing, because we're a family, my friends. We're a family. We just think hula is so wonderful. We want to make it part of our lives, and our lives are richer for knowing about the hula. Because the bottom line is love.
At one time, the hands was everything, you know. When we danced, we did a lot of wrist movement. And then, now I notice that it's more like a posing kind of thing. And then I know why they do that, because if you have a big halau and everybody is going, it doesn't look like they're all together when you have a mass. You can do a better job if everybody's hand is stable. You're going to have a little movement maybe on your fingertips, but your shoulders always have to be up, and your elbows too. You don't have lazy elbows. And then they usually, I notice now that they usually watch the hands. Some people vamp coming in with their feet. Some people vamp going out, and both ways are okay. Yeah. And then you notice that when you kaholo, now if you kaholo and you're going to do a tap, if you do just a small tap, you're going to find that your hip keep moving. But if you do a stamp, that's a stop right there. Let me show you. Now, if you do a kaholo, let me take off my shoes.
Yeah. Catch 'em out.
If you do your kaholo this way, that's all right too. If you're going to do your kaholo this way, there, what's happening? The hip is not moving, right? It has a stop right there. But if you go with a small tap, the hip continues to move, right? And you bring your hand to you, or you go this way. You go this way, you always keep your shoulders, don't move your shoulders up and down, you keep it stable here. And then, I don't know, some people, I think it's so important that you get your kikala moving, right? You gotta get the hip moving. Otherwise, to me, that's not the dance. The whole body has to be in play, otherwise, it's just like, not all. So when you dance, you go, go down, the kikala move, and everything moves. When you ami, you give the ami, give the ami.
Naikai. Thank you, honey. Thank you. I hope I can do that when I'm 87. Ooh, right now my knees are bothering me. Oh, Maikai. So smooth, huh? So smooth. Very sweet.
Do a hula no.
Yeah. Well, you know,
No give up.
a hula noho is very important, my friends. That's the general class of hula, sitting, standing. And the sitting has many subcategories. How are you sitting? Knees together, knees apart. Are you reclining? How are you sitting? Up on the knees with the okole down on the floor? 5 or 6 different ways to sit. But my friends, you always sit with your shoulders back. I saw the noho yesterday and they were sitting like this, like they were pitched forward. And from the side, they looked like they're so tired, they don't want to dance. But the noho, you always sit up. And the general rule, when the hands are above the shoulders, the body raises. I don't see much of that done anymore. Put yourself into that story. You're telling about sky, go up to it. Down. We had 3 basic hand movements from the time we were very little. First, Grandma would say, do you know your hands? Look at your hands. Are they yours? Do you know them from any other hands? And really, if you put covers on, you wouldn't know your hands from somebody else's. Then she'd say, raise them away from the body, relaxed. And now think that you're sitting on the sand. The sand is warm, soft. Now, of course, with little kids, you start petting a kitty cat or something like that. No, not a kitty cat. A fur coat. No, not a fur coat. Soft fingers, soft fingers. Gestures of aloha, working out from your heart. Love to you, love to you. The amount of love is your business. It's a lot of love or just a little. It's your business. Gestures of description. If they're beautiful enough for you to do, why not share it? Come, we're going up to Mauna Kea. Oh, it's the most beautiful mountain in the whole wide world. So it isn't just a mountain. It's the most beautiful mountain in the whole wide world. So the dancer determines, is it emotional? Is it descriptive? And whatever you're doing with the hands, you're doing with the face. How many mabainas I saw yesterday? The face is here. Where the face? With the hands. Wherever the hands are, the face should be with the hands. So don't forget some of these basic things. You lose your thought if you disrupt with a mavaina that isn't connected. A mavaina is to connect everything together. The feet, the body, the hands, everything. And your face is an important ingredient. The mavaina doesn't mean, oh, relax. Don't need to smile, nothing happening. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. There you are with the hands, and it's an important link. That mavaina deserves your attention. So you do have to pay attention to all of those little things, my friends. And the good haumana will make a good kumu. Yeah, you're right, George. It's not the other way around. You are the ones that make all the beautiful things happen. Your heart, your behavior, the way you speak to each other. You are the ones that deserve the maikaino, maikaino.
Auntie, what are those? Dance kalau Emilia. Dance kalau Emilia. She dance.
That's how
She came up kalau Emilia. You remember?
No, I danced the one verse, Kimuhula. One verse.
One verse.
Okay, you sing.
No, sit down.
Miley, you sing it.
And
You
you-
have
yeah,
beautiful
Miley-
soprano voice.
Miley, come sing for her.
You do.
No. Kimo Hula. You better sing nicer. I don't know how to play. I'm an entertainer, not a musician. What? Oh, what? Everybody sing.
Smell the flowers, huh? I hope I can do that at 87. Oh my, that's beautiful. And what was the most important, my friends? What you saw, the hands, yeah, what you felt. Didn't it make you feel so loving, so sweet? You want to come up and hug her? My Cutty, my Cutty. It's very important what you see in hula and what you hear in hula. Yeah. You don't want to hear feet dragging. You want to hear the sweet sounds. Of course, you want to feel it. And when she did, oh, you could just smell the sweetness of those flowers. Didn't it make you feel wonderful? Yeah. And it's hard to transmit feelings, but that's our obligation, my friends. That's what makes hula so different. It's your heart that's in it. It's not just empty movements. Anybody can do empty movements. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. Anybody can do it. What you're doing is a piece of your heart there. Yes. And that's what's important. And that's what will stay with people all their lives when they feel the beauty of your dance that comes from here. Sure, there's hula for entertainment. Bless it, that's beautiful. They do it for commercial, they do it for sex. But we do it for art. And there's a difference between the artistic and the sexy. Yeah, George?
I don't know, you know it. I go to church.
We were talking about the squatting hula the other night. I don't know how it came about, but I didn't know Anapau was a mele ma'i. I didn't know until I got married. My grandmother was a proper church lady. We never learned mele ma'i. I didn't even know the term. Well,
Yeah, but he wasn't riding in the horse.
no, that's true. That's true. And my friend Iolani, he said, well, you know, Nona, this is the way I first learned Anapau. And it was a squatting hula. Like you're going to the toilet and you're squatting down on the floor. I said, gee, that looks so awkward. She said, you try do it. I couldn't do it. And I think we were like in our 30s or something. We couldn't do it. The leg muscles were so tight to squat the whole way. And it was squatting way down low. But what she did teach me was different kinds of ami, and the ami about a handspan off the ground. And to try to do that during the whole thing, iluna to this day I can't do it. I don't have enough endurance. But the different ways to do the squatting hula, different kind of noho.
Well, those days the man didn't do the work. The woman did the work. The man only lie down.
Erase that from the tape.
But that's a fact. But you know, sex in those days in Hawaii, sex was beautiful. When the Po'ehaole came over here, they made all the whalers and all that kind here in Lahaina, the first place. We had to have them a house of ill repute, you know. And guess who was the first madam in Hawaii? Read the history book. Queen Kalama. Yes, she was. That's why she was the wealthiest of the queens, with all the money. But sex was beautiful. And Hawaiian those days, the Hawaiians slept one place, the Kani slept one place. When they got together married, they began to sleep together. Because without sex, sex is beautiful. Today we make sex bad. Because no more sex, no more you, no more me, no more nothing. So you got to think of sex. But Hawaiians did it justly. Everything was everything. It's the best part of the whole thing. You know. Ask me, I know. And I didn't have to do the work. That's true. That's what the hula mai is. That's what the hula mai was. Okay, back to church.
But you know, there is a time and place. And a mele mai was always the way a program ended. Not for us, like I say, we didn't know about the mele mai. But it was an endurance contest, and it was a tribute to the halau, and they could do the ami faster, 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 faster. That's quite a trick for a halau to be able to do it. In unison, precision. And you hear the snickering in the audience, you know, you think, well, the poetry is so veiled, you know, talking about a mountain, it's not a mountain at, well, Mauna Loa, you know, it's not the mountain at all. They say, oh yeah, it's a woman with big hips. No, it's a tugboat with a broad stern. That's true. So you have to read between the lines, and you have to be very skillful. But the trick is, you know, not to be so forward about it. Be subtle, be genteel. That's the skill in it. So you don't just give it away, you know. You just entice a little here and there. Even with a little bit of the mu'u, you know. Oh, I used to see the ladies, Ida Naope, Rosalie Stevenson, just a little bit of the mu'u here. Oh boy, was that sexy. Yeah, not much movement at all. And a little bit of the eyes.
Everybody think they're making moo like this, but they really were scratching. Same movement.
You see why we like to be with him. He always keeps us in stitches. Yeah, and then he has the nerve to smile like nothing has happened.
After my father retired from a prison warden, we moved down to Waehu. We had a property there with a beach house on it. And every summer, when school was over, all the mo'opunas from all the outside islands all came home. My mother and my dad lived there, and so did I and my children. And the place was bordered by a how grove that was in front of the beach. But the beach was maybe from here till up there by where those chairs are, was very close to the house. There was also a pillbox on one side of where I think must have been soldiers had, they call it, I don't know, anyway, we call it the pillbox. It was right close to where we lived. And there was the how tree there. We used to collect the ili-ilis, and they had the pohui-hui growing over on the sand mounds. We also had some lauhala trees on the property. And there was a holly man that raised some cattle. So a little further over, there was a ditch that meandered through his property and emptied out into the ocean. So after my mom and my dad died and nobody comes home anymore, I wrote this song about that place. First we're talking about the ili-ili. Ili-ili kahakai pai ke one kaamai ke kahawai ku I ke kai la ea uluhau kahakai pa kamakani kahue pati ene pa ani kamali la ea pohui hue kahakai ne e kapu e one ka ilalo ka iluna lele ko alila la ea ulu pu hala lau hala flirte I ka e hukai lau mai ka I palu palu na laupe ahila la ea. Anyway, now this is about the ditch of Downey. Oh, Downey kai ke kai pailala aulana dam up ka kawaya la ea. The kids just love to go. It seems like when the tide came in, all the scrap lumber and all the, the dead kind of trees all piled up right there. And so the children all got this lumber and they dammed up the ditch so that they could sit in this little tide pool. So, and then later on, some people from the mainland bought all the shoreline, all the property on the shoreline. And so then my family started doing research about our place, And then we found out the name of our place was called Ka'ehu. So Ka'ehu, then I have Ha'ina, Kapuana, no Ka'ehu. Anyway, I use that word in that chant, but it's all gone now.
You're not teaching it to your mo'opuna?
I do. We did that for our ho'ike when we had our family reunion.
Maikai.
We did the how, the how branch, we cut it, and then we stripped it, took the middle part off, and then we braided it to look like a whip. And then we took the pohui-hui, that's a morning glory to go. We stripped off all the leaves and we used it as a rope to jump rope.
No tribe won't do that, she said, but you'll never be able to do it. Okay, your sense, hurry up. You. Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot your beamer.
Everybody sing it with me. Poo, poo. He knew. Poo, poo. He knew. ke kahakai. O ke kahakai, kahakai inu, inu. Second verse, same as the first. Inu, inu. Inu, inu. Elohe kako, we all listen to the shout. Elohe kako. Inu, inu. Third verse, same as the first. Inu, inu. Inu, inu. E moe, moe. E moe, e moe. But you know, you have to watch when you put your motions to things, you know. You're showing the shell. Now you want to show it's shiny. So don't put the shiny part in your palm, put the shiny part outside. And the round bottom of the shell conforms. We're talking about a cowrie shell, a leho shell, not clam shells, not any. And it conforms with the curve in the hand, and the tip of the finger will hold the top of the shell, so you can turn it around and show it to your friends. You look at it and let them have one more look. See how kind you are. You let them see twice and you only look once. And kahakai is the beach. So the kahakai should be soft. You don't want this kind of kahakai, it's too rough. We're not talking about rough. We're talking about the smooth kahakai. Ke kahakai, kahakai,
Not tsunami.
Not tsunami. And then when you do the lohe, listen, and show something on your face. I hear it. Oh, I hear it. And then moi, put the shell to sleep, gently, and then curl up beside it and fall fast asleep too. And you know how you curl up on the stage? Body, elbows, hands, and head. And the head is resting on your hand. You don't just go plunk. You fold up very gently. Body, elbows, hands, and head. And it's very sweet and gentle and soft. Moi, moi. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm an amateur, just an amateur from Hilo, Hawaii.
I was singing song. No song I do.
Sing something nice.
I wrote this song in 1950, and I went to Ka'u, and my aunt said to me, "You ever been to Wai'opalahemo?" I said, "No." "Then you have not seen Ka'u." And Ka'u people, when you ask Ka'u people where they're from, they always say Opalahemo. Never. Anyway, I went down there. Never had rode on a jeep. It was the roughest road I ever rode, all the way down. Then I rode back, came back. So when I went to read the recording, Auntie Kovina Fuku'i called me, one of my teachers, and she says, "Joey, you wrote the song backwards." I said, "Auntie, you told me when you write a song, you write it the way you saw it. So I saw it backwards." So I came back this way. Kei ke aku hau Nukanania o ka'u How make a beauty a vai o palahemo Aloha no o ka'u Kei ke aku hau Nukanania o ka Hame ka biukia o hai o Parahemo Aloha no o ka Puana Hapua na ka inoa Nukanania o ka Haua piha me ka hau oli Aloha no o ka Puana ho Hapua na ka inoa Nukanania o ka Haua piha me ka hau oli Aloha no o ka no e ka owi.
Now, what did you come away with after seeing that hula? Yes, sweet, soft, tender. It touches you. Very sweet, darling. Very sweet. Okay. That we can say that about everything we do. Let's try. Let's try. We just have to work a little harder, but we can to make every hula count. There's no opala hula. Every hula count. He's always making faces when I'm talking.
I'm telling you, look at it, watch.
Aloha.
Aloha, darling.
How do you feel about people like us that are living abroad, that are trying to share and perpetuate our culture away from the islands? So I'll just take my question back.
We're grateful to you. Grateful to you. Mai ka'i. Mai ka'i. Yeah.
You know, when you go away, absence makes the heart go founder. So you remember all of the things. Then you come home, like how nice of you guys to come from Arizona to learn your culture. And that's important. You cannot forget hula. Hula is you. And then Allah, very nice.
Seems as though you have a deeper responsibility and more of an obligation, yeah, to try to remain as true to the traditions as you can. Because you are the diplomats. People are seeing hula for the first time. And you are privileged to be that person that's showing them for the first time. So you have to be the best damn teachers you can be.
She's learning fast from me. I like that again.
In some of my work, I work with people who are close to end of life, so many kapuna, and I was wondering if you could give me some guidance about how hula and Hawaiian culture can play a part in the care of the people who are close to death.
What would you say, friends? You hear the question? For people who are terminally ill, who are at the end of their lives, what can we say to bring them comfort and joy?
You know, to watch the kupuna dance is something as beautiful as the kupuna. And they make any young person look rubbish. No, they do. They have the eye, they got the heart, they got, you know, that nice soft rhythm. They're not in a rush.
When my father was dying, he wanted us to sing to him. So we all sat on his bed and we sang Ku'uhoa that he composed for my mother. And we couldn't sing the Ha'ina verse. Oh, we kept going back to the beginning, going back to the beginning. And then when we buried him, we finally sang the Ha'ina verse. But he wanted us to sing to him. So I think that would be lovely. I know at Lunalilo Home, that's one of the things they foster. They all sing to each other. It's lovely, lovely. They sing after dinner and they sit around in their chairs and sing to each other. But that's lovely there again, the feeling of love, my friends, so precious. You can't deny it. Just be more aware of it. Yeah, share it more. And we commend you for doing this, honey. It's not easy, not easy. We commend you.
I think that's a wonderful note to end on, that we do this work because we love them, we love everything that they have, their willingness to share with us, and they constantly remind us to have fun and to celebrate and love one another. So we thank you for becoming a part of that this morning.
Well, your legs are too heavy.
No, it's me.
This kupuna panel was presented at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center by Hula Preservation Society as part of the Second World Conference on Hula in July 2005. It is with great humility that HPS acknowledges the privilege of being entrusted to document and share the personal stories of our cherished Hula elders. Mahalo nui loa to these true treasures of Hawaii.